What is going on, guys? Thank you for joining me here today. If you couldn't tell by the title, we got a little, wrestling review, a little rundown of what's been going on in the WWE. I try to do this bi-weekly. I think I'm sucking at it. I don't know how long it's been since I've done my last one, but a lot has happened. So I kind of just want to jump right in. I got class in about an hour, so I'm really going to try to just rip through this. If you guys like this content, please leave a like rating, subscribe down below. If you're listening to the podcast version, which is on, literally everything, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Pandora, whatever. I appreciate you guys so much. If you guys could go down, leave a comment, like rating, rate the channel on Spotify, that'd be sick. So without further ado, I kind of just want to hop right in because I got a lot to talk about in this little time span I have. So, of course, kicking it right off, you guys should know that this is a compilation of questions that I've made for myself. I've pulled from ChatGPT, off the internet, all the fun stuff. So, getting right into it immediately, we have Saturday night's main event match card. This is pretty important. It's happening this weekend, and I think there's going to probably be some title changes. If I'm looking at the main event card, these are my predictions. So, first up, we have Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre. Hear me out on this. Y'all got to hear me out. Drew McIntyre's going to win, but it's not going to be clean. Either he's going to do something to get back at Cody, or I think Randy Orton gets involved. We've been teasing this for a little bit, so I think it could possibly happen here. I don't feel like Cody needs another long title reign. I don't think he needs one of those year-long ones. I think him winning it back was a little bit more of a passing the torch moment from John Cena, face of the company to face of the company. So I could see it ending here, and Drew needs this. Drew genuinely needs this. I mean, he puts in so much work. He's a workhorse, and I love seeing him in ring personally. So my pick's Drew McIntyre. I'm really pulling for him because I think he's so good at what he does. I have him to beat Cody with potentially an interference from Randy Orton. If not, if it's just a clean win, that's sick too. I'd love both, but I feel like we are about to get Cody versus Randy to some extent. Whether the fans turn on Cody after this happens or however they play this out. Do we get Cody Homelander? But then the thing you have to think with that is, like, who's going to take over the babyface main role? Who's out there, going to all the meetings, signing the pictures, kissing the babies, you know what I'm saying? So that's, like, the only slight drawback that I have. Like, just turning Cody heel. But, yeah, for my pick for the WWE Championship, Drew McIntyre. Next up, of course, we have the World Heavyweight Championship, CM Punk versus Jey Uso, which I don't think there's a question on here about it. The Battle Royal, such a great idea for that. I was so happy because I feel like we never get to see any of these like random sporadic matches as much anymore, and a Battle Royale it's beautiful. It seriously is. You get however many was in there. It was like 20 or 30 guys in there, and they just go eliminate each other, and of course there's tons of great moments that happened throughout the match. Dom rejoining the Rumble after technically not being eliminated because nobody saw him get dumped out. That was hilarious. Of course, the thing with Jimmy and Jay, that's going down as well right now. Jay, of course, flipping Jimmy to the outside and eliminating him from the Battle Royal, which just left Jay and Dominic, and the video that keeps playing in my head of the Battle Royal is just Dominic just getting up from the corner and just sneaking just a little bit, just sneaking his way around the ring, and then he drops him into the position, of course, for the 619, and we all know how that goes, is he gets thrown over the top immediately after, but it was still just a cool moment, because I feel like you could feel the fans building a little bit, and you could kind of just feel that, like, is Dom about to do this? It was kind of just one of those moments, which you always love in wrestling. So as long as, you're getting caught guessing. Like, keep the fans guessing, and it's just a beautiful thing, like what they can do. So, anyways, of course, Jay wins. CM Punk somehow is the number one contender. I don't know how, because it should be LA Knight, because LA Knight was the last person to beat Seth Rollins. Never got his title opportunity. Technically, he was in the Fatal 4-Way. Doesn't count. He never got a one-on-one match. I feel like it should have been CM Punk LA Knight, but also I really enjoyed the Battle Royal, so I'm not that mad about it. I could see Jimmy getting involved in some way or form, but CM Punk's gonna win. I would literally bet the mortgage on CM Punk winning. Just I don't see Jey Uso getting another world heavyweight reign again. If that's mean, I'm sorry, but I don't see it happening this soon. Maybe. Yeah, this is CM Punk territory. He's walking out world heavyweight champion. So next, we got Tiffany versus Jade. Sadly enough, I think this is where we see Tiffany's reign end. I think that she's had a great reign. What's been like 260 days as women's champion. I mean, that's great for her, but I think at this point in time, it's probably going to end. My feeling is that Jade's gonna win, and technically she just turned heel on SmackDown, which, like, whatever. I'm just gonna. I thought she was already heel, but then they kind of just had to, reinforce that into our brains, which I appreciate. But at the same time, it's just like I thought we already knew this. I thought we knew that it was gonna be face Tiffany versus heel Jade, but whatever. It's not my promotion. So I'm gonna pick Jade to finally dethrone Tiffany, and then of course the match that was just added Monday night, the Intercontinental Championship triple threat between Dominic Mysterio and Penta and Rusev. Dom's gonna retain, which this is kind of crazy because every time he defends his belt, I'm like, all right, he's gonna lose. All right, he's losing now. All right, this is the time he's gonna lose. And now going into this, I feel like he can't lose because I think he's gonna have a match with John Cena in one of his final dates. And I feel like they would want the belt on Dom, the IC title belt on Dom, just to give it that little extra, oomph. Because of course John Cena's never won the IC title before. So that's what I'm thinking. Now this is probably going to be the one time I say Dom's going to win and then he loses, and then it's going to be like me being a jinx. But yeah, my pick's Dom. There's only 4 matches on the card right now. I'm not quite sure what else would get added. Maybe tag title match, women's tag titles or something like that. Maybe a United States champion. Like, of course, we still have SmackDown Friday. So if they add a match, if it's another championship match, it's just going to be I'm just going to come out and say it now. Whoever it is retaining their championship. If it's not a title match, let me think. The babyface is going to win. Whoever you deem the babyface, that's my pick. Because I think they'll probably add in one more match, but I'm recording this on a Wednesday. So this is what you get to deal with. So, and that wraps it up for the Saturday Night main event predictions. And of course, the biggest topic right now, we have Braun Breaker turning on Seth Rollins. That was pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting that whatsoever. I was literally about to turn my TV off to get ready to go to bed because I had an 8 a.m. in the morning, and I literally have the controller in my hand, and all of a sudden this dude just turns around and just spears Seth, and I'm like, oh, like what? Like, it's just genuinely insane. I just wasn't expecting it this early, but of course we know why. Seth got injured at Crown Jewel. Gosh, yeah, at Crown Jewel. And then sadly enough has to vacate the title, which leads us to the CM Punk Jey Uso match at Saturday Night's main event. But the second part of that question is, Where does this leave the Vision? I think they played this off very well because the entire reason for their promo on Raw, I don't remember if it was this week or last week, it was basically just saying like the Vision was never for Seth, it was for Braun and Bronson, which I feel like that makes it a little bit more believable that this isn't just like, oh, Seth got hurt, we just gotta like take him out. It actually plays into the story a little bit, which I like. And pretty much just leads kind of into the next question as well. I'll probably just throw them both in and kind of just talk over it. How is WWE balancing real life injuries like Seth Rollins with storyline obligations? Has it been handled smoothly? And yeah, like kind of like what I was saying, I think it's I think they're handling injuries very well right now by kind of just like injuring people then taking them off TV. I think they're doing a great job. I don't really have much to say about it, honestly. Of course, Seth gets hurt, gets turned on by the Vision. Now he's going to be out for a little while. We understand that. The one that didn't go as smoothly, of course, would be like Liv Morgan's. Liv Morgan just got hurt in the middle of the match, and everybody knows that she was hurt. She got the big old X up there. The ones that happen in match and ring, those are a little bit harder to play off. Especially if they literally can't wrestle anymore, which of course Seth got hurt and he was able to at least finish his match. He was like gripping his arm to his side like crazy during the match. You could tell something was wrong, but still got it figured out. So, but this leaves the Vision exactly where just where they stood originally, just without Seth. I think the point of the Vision, initially was just to bring up two younger guys and kind of elevate them. And they've already been elevated, so I think it's fine. I think it's done. Of course, I feel like War Games, they're going to be involved somehow. I hope so. Again, like I've been saying, do we see Austin Theory? Join the Vision? I feel like he'd be a great. Not really a replacement, just a great addition, because he's kind of a lot like Seth. I feel like a little bit. I think he has a great ability to be a babyface as well. So that's the problem with him joining the Vision, in my opinion, is it's just like people are cheering for him whenever he's not even in the building because he's been hurt. But if he joins the Vision, which is a bad group of people, it's like, are they going to cheer for him even though he's a part of the Vision and he's a bad guy? Or is it like... So it is a little bit weird, but of course, only time tells. So with Seth Rollins out and the title being vacated, how do you think the path is shaping for the next major champion on the roster? So of course, like I talked about, I said CM Punk's probably going to win, and I like the path they took with the Battle Royal, like I was saying earlier. But I don't think CM Punk's going to be the champion for super long. I think someone's going to get elevated here. Like, this could be Braun Breaker territory. This could be Dominic Mysterio territory, if we're being for real. Also, it could be... we could be looking at LA Knight as well. So if they're not going to elevate a guy, of course, we have LA Knight and CM Punk. But I just... The path is just, it's kind of up in the air, because like on Raw it's like we have all these different guys that could be champion, and then on SmackDown it's like, all right, Drew or Cody. Is Drew or Cody's going to be champion? That's how it's been for a long time. So it's, again, only time's going to tell with this. I don't know how they're going to play it out after CM Punk wins, because I'm manifesting this. I don't know how they're going to play it out, but I'm excited to see. So, what's your take on the Intercontinental / mid-card title race right now between Penta, Rusev, and Dominic? Where do you see it going? I love what they're doing right now because Dom's had to defend the championship a lot, and I love seeing him in the ring, and I love seeing him not cheat because he never cheats, which is what he said on his backstage segment the other day. He does never cheat. I've never seen him cheat once ever. So... he always gets clean wins only. But him versus Rusev, both those matches were great. And then of course we've He's beat Penta like 600 times, I swear. So I feel like the title itself is actually getting elevated because Rusev's in the mix, and he's always been played up to be like this giant, strong guy, and he's getting beat by Dominic. So, the match itself, the triple threat, I think is going to be an absolute banger. I think it could potentially be match of the night because these are just three dudes that can just go, and I know the storytelling is going to be good as well. So I'm excited for it. But the mid card titles are really, I think they're cooking right now. The only mid card title I haven't been having fun with is the women's IC title. Not women's IC title, women's United States Championship. I think, does Julia have it? I think she has it. I haven't seen her with it. Granted, I'm not like I try and catch SmackDown the best I can, but of course I'm in college. It's on a Friday night. I'm doing stuff. But I never see her in the Raw recaps or anything like that, so must not be doing that much with it. Of course the men's United States title just went to Ilya Dragunov after he returned, which was unbelievable because I've been waiting for his return. Because of course I heard about him. I went back and watched some of his matches like in NXT UK, and bro, he just kills it. So I'm excited he's the champion now. But yeah, mid cards, they're doing good. So with the upcoming event, Survivor Series War Games 2025 announced for San Diego, it's on November 29th, by the way. How do you think WWE is building towards that, and what feud should headline it? So I don't think I've ever openly said this because this is the first time I'm gonna ever be talking about Survivor Series. I think War Games is not great. I like the original Survivor Series format where it's 5v5 and the person gets pinned and they're eliminated, and then now it's a 5v4. I don't like the whole thing. Like the cage is like the double caged is cool, causes for some great moments, but I just feel like the format of them just having five, like each person go in one at a time and they fight each other just doesn't really make any sense because they can't win. I feel like maybe if honestly they just started 5-on-5 in the match originally, and then it was like that 1-by-1 elimination, that'd be so much better. That's just how I feel. I feel like they should go back to that. To some extent, maybe you can have one match of like War Games where it's like, yeah, we're gonna put the Wyatt Six and the MFTs, in they're gonna do the War Games match, but then of course we have the Vision and Team Cody or whatever the hell we're gonna end up doing with that. We're gonna have them just do the normal standard 5-on-5. So it's just a bit tough. That's just how I personally feel about it. But it is cool. Don't get me wrong. I like War Games. It's just like the older format better. What was even the question? What feuds? Oh, like I said, MFT's Wyatt Six are probably gonna be one, I would think. I think we're gonna potentially have something with, I mean, I don't know if the Judgment Day girls are gonna get involved with something. I could see them and the Kabuki Warriors teaming up actually, but also it doesn't really make sense because they technically injured Liv Morgan. I don't know. The women's ones are kind of up in the air because it's just like there's no like women's giant factions that are like hating each other. It's just tag teams. So for girls might be a bit odd. But, of course, whatever match they throw together, it's going to be great. For the guys, I want them to do something with the Vision. I don't want the Vision to be left off of, I want the Vision to be in a War Games match or a Survivor Series match. Like I said, either the 5-on-5, hopefully, that'd be sweet. But just in the War Games match itself. Kind of hoping they do something with them because I feel like it kind of dampens all of their momentum if all of a sudden they're like, all right, Seth Rollins is hurt and it's just us two now and Paul Heyman, we're done. It's like no. We need to be stacking a little team together, I think, which is where Austin Theory, and I've seen things online where it's like Brock Lesnar too, which that would be just genuinely insane. And if their team lost, it'd just be absolute BS. Because that's a power team. Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Brock Lesnar, and Austin Theory. Cinema. I would love to see them in the ring, but of course it's still early. It's still, just about it actually is a month away. So we'll just have to see. Are there any wrestlers you feel like that are being underutilized currently, and who would you push to fix that? Who's being underutilized? I mean, I think I say this literally every week. Tag division, Raw, the Creed brothers. Where the hell are they at? First of all, they're definitely being underutilized because they haven't been on TV in literal weeks. I would say Carmelo Hayes, but he's finally doing this thing with like the Miz now, and I feel like that's good work. Who else? I'm really trying to think of people who are being underutilized. That's kind of just pissing me off. The Creed brothers are like just the number one in my opinion. Like that's like they're so good and they're just nowhere to be seen. So I'm just going to stick with them so I can continue just crushing through this. Of course I might do that question again next week cuz maybe I can think of someone else. How do you feel about the creative direction of the last few episodes of Raw/SmackDown? Are things feeling any more coherent or chaotic? Okay, well, Raw finally ended not with a Vision segment. That's sick. Let's keep doing that. We don't need to have the Vision ending Raw every single night. We just don't. I feel like the creative direction is a little bit stale right now. I feel like a bit of the storylines are getting a little bit repetitive and old. I feel like we need to see some big character changes, probably out of maybe a Jey Uso or a Cody Rhodes. That'd be kind of sick. But creatively, I feel like they're doing a better job than they were like 2 months ago. 3 months ago, whatever it was, whenever it was literally just the same thing every Raw and every SmackDown. So keep it up, WWE. Just do better. With streaming and media changes, how much do you think that's affecting the on-screen product? Okay. The fact that we're cutting these if you don't have Netflix without ads, which you can't get in the United States, so if you don't have a VPN sending it God knows where, then you can't watch technically all of Raw. That's stupid. I feel like there are these backstage segments or, those like little mini interviews or someone like comes out like just on the on-ramp for a quick promo. I feel like that's a lot of missed like time for these people. Like the New Day have been on there a lot and Dom's on there a lot. And we see people like Dragon Lee, AJ Styles, like cutting these little like mini promos while we're on commercial break. And then I have to see them later on Instagram. Like that's kind of stupid. So maybe let's just like, I don't know how we fix that because Netflix has to have the ads, but like maybe just fix it. I don't know. I don't deal with streaming and media, whatever. So next question, shut up. What's your perspective on the progression of Braun Breaker after his dominant win over LA Knight? Is he being elevated correctly? No, he's not. I'm sorry, he's not. I feel like we're pushing him just a little bit. We're pushing him a little bit too fast, and we're still making LA Knight lose every single week. I'm not all over that, and I'm not even an LA Knight glazer. I just think he's so over, and he's good at what he does, and he deserves a title. Like he deserves to have a title right now. And him losing to Braun Breaker, who's like 28 years old, is a little bit crazy. I feel like they could have a good feud. I want them to feud. That'd be great for both of them. But I don't want Braun Breaker just literally killing every LA Knight every single week. It's dumb. Hashtag justice for LA Knight. So, but he's being elevated fine. I'll go back on what I just said. Braun Breaker is being elevated at a fine rate. I just think him beating LA Knight like that is just kind of insane. The recent win by Tatum Paxley for the NXT Championship, how does that shape her trajectory, and what does she do next? I mean, bro, it's about damn time Tatum Paxley got the NXT Women's Championship, because she puts on great matches. She has one of the coolest finishing moves in NXT. Like, in my opinion, like, her finishing move is right up there with the Soul Snatcher. So, I don't know. I think her win was sick. I don't know what they're going to do with JC Jane now. I'd actually like to see her get elevated, because I thought the work she did was actually pretty funny. She's a pretty funny, like, heel character, and she does good work. So, but Tatum Paxley, I think, is going to hold this for a really long time. She's either going to hold this for a really long time, or she's going to lose it to, oh my gosh, to Lola Vice at some point. I still want to see Lola win the women's NXT championship, of course, but right now it's Tatum's time, so I'm happy for her. Women's IC title thoughts. Maxine Dupree has been cooking in these matches. Her and Becky Lynch, I don't know what it is. They just got some secret sauce brewing or something, because the matches they've been putting on have been great with tons of false finishes. And last week, of course, Becky hits her with the title to get herself disqualified, which sucks, but of course leads to Maxine going to Adam Pearce this last Raw, so on Monday, and saying that whenever she's ready, she's going to come back and ask for a title fight, and she's immediately going to get it. So that's sick. I think actually Becky Lynch having this great feud with Maxine, I feel like, is actually elevating. Online people have been like, oh, you're taking this nobody manager and making her beat Becky Lynch. That's stupid. It's like, all right, you just shut up for 5 seconds, because no one cares about your opinion if you're saying that. Second of all, it's being elevated because the matches are good, and now people are actually caring about what's going on. If we just had Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch for another, 3 months, no one cares because it's stale. This is just something new, and they're really this is like really obviously elevating Maxine, but it's also giving Becky a chance to do her own thing as well, and try out these different, like kind of train Maxine a little bit, and it kind of just gives it this new dynamic that we haven't really seen out of Becky before, I feel like. So yeah, it's great. They're doing good work. After the tag team title defense of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss against Bayley and Lyra, where do you see the women's tag division moving? I think Charlotte and Alexa are kind of just bouncing around both brands, just like defending however they can. I could actually see them maybe losing to the Kabuki Warriors at some point. That's kind of, down the road, I feel like, because I think they should still hold them a little bit longer. But the only thing I haven't liked about their reign is how they're kind of just Charlotte and Alexa isn't a problem for me. It's just like these random tag teams are getting made to go against them, and then they're losing. It's like, oh, okay, well they won again, but they're doing, like, the matches they're putting on are great. So I can't hate on it that much. They'll probably go back to SmackDown, defend it against, someone, maybe Julia and that other girl that I don't know her name, but she carries the purse and she's kind of annoying, but that's her character. Her character is very annoying. Maybe they do a little title defense against them. I don't know. We'll see in the near future. How do you interpret the backstage and on-screen treatment of veteran stars like Sheamus and JD given their recent match? calling JD a veteran is kind of crazy. He is insanely good. Yes. Yeah, like, I mean, this kind of goes into what I'm saying earlier. Like, I didn't even know this match was made until they were like, yeah, JD's facing Sheamus. Okay. And then, of course, well, I'm just going to talk about that match. That match was absolute heat. Letting JD get a win over Sheamus is awesome because I don't remember him ever winning a singles titles match. Not singles title. Gosh. A singles match. I barely remember him wrestling a singles match, let alone winning one. So, great for both people because Sheamus still looks strong because he technically gets, I mean, they cheat to beat him, but JD still gets the win. He looks, great in ring. So does Sheamus. I mean, dude's still killing it at, however old he is, like 40, 45-ish. Couldn't tell you. The dude's getting up there, but he's still putting on banger after banger. So, as we're nearing the end of 2025, who will all the champions be on December 31st heading into 2026? Oh, jeez. Y'all are killing me. I think it's going to be somewhat different. I don't think it'd be very different. So, list of current champions right now. I'll just give out the predictions like straight up. So of course the WWE Championship, the one over on SmackDown, I think is going to be Drew McIntyre by the end of the year. World Heavyweight Championship is going to be held by CM Punk by the end of the year. U.S. Championship, this one's tough. This one's really tough because I could see Ilya holding it, but also he's doing all the open challenges. Maybe someone comes in and snags it away before the end of the year. But I'm gonna keep it as Ilya. I think Ilya keeps it to the end of the year. The IC title, men's IC title, of course. I want to say he keeps it to the end of the year, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. I'm gonna say Dominic will be the champion by the end of the year. The World Tag Team Champions, AJ Styles versus Dragon Lee. AJ Lee, Dragon Styles, whatever, the Phenomenal Dragons, whatever their team name's going to be. I don't think they hold it to the end of the year. I think maybe there's just no competition in the Raw Tag Team division right now. It's like, what are we going to give it back to the New Day? No, we're not doing that. You know what? Screw it. Yes, AJ Lee will still have the World Tag Team Championship by the end. The Dragon Styles will have the championships by December 31st. Will the Wyatt Six still have the Tag Team Championships? Ooh, I like this one because their division is actually competitive. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no because I think they might drop it to possibly the Street Profits again. That would be kind of cool to see the Street Profits regain their championships. Oh man, there's just so many good people to choose from, and also like they deserve to have the tag team championships all the way to the end of the year. I see DIY taking it as well. But I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say they don't hold them, and I'm gonna give it to the Street Profits. Now, to the women's championships, of course. We have Tiffany Stratton. Does she hold it to the end? No. And no. Oh, actually, Tiffany's held this championship for 299 days. Now that I'm looking at this, that is way longer than I said earlier. But no, I think she drops it to Jade this weekend. So Jade Cargill's going to be the women's champion by the end of the year. Women's World Championship, yeah, Stephanie Vaquer is going to hold it for a very long time, I think. Hopefully. Maybe not hopefully, but I think hopefully. She's going to hold it for a long time. Does Julia still hold the champion? She's been champion for 124 days. Oh my gosh. Bro, I don't even know what her finisher is. Like let's just be for real. I just hope she gets. I hope they just try to elevate the title a little bit more than what they are currently doing. But will she be champion by the end of the year? I'm gonna say no. But who takes it from her? Who's in that division kind of just lurking around right now? Who? I mean, just freaking give it back to Chelsea Green. That's my pick. Chelsea Green's going to be champion by the end of the year. Women's IC title, Maxine Dupree. Maxine Dupree is going to be champion by the end of the year. I'm starting narratives. And then women's tag team championship. I'm going to say the Kabuki Warriors are going to be the champions by the end of the year. So, I'm not going to do NXT because I don't know as much about the NXT division as I do about Raw and SmackDown. So, moving on, what do we got? Oh yeah, someone asked me this the other day. What is your Mount Rushmore of NXT champions? This is so tough. So, first of all, we're going to put Finn Balor. It's Finn Balor, for sure. He's probably the best NXT wrestler ever. So I'll put Finn Balor. Then I'm gonna put Seth Rollins because he was the first ever to win the NXT championship, and his run back in the day was fire. If you just go back and watch some of his old matches, he's just an absolute lunatic. So I'll say him. Gotta go Adam Cole, right? You have to throw Adam Cole in there. Dude's incredible. So I'll say Adam Cole. And then this might be insane. This might be really insane. I'm going to say Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens always just used to put in work down on NXT. And then, of course, ends up coming up to doing a random open challenge against John Cena. And beats him. Sick. But yeah, no. Just sticking it to NXT of champions. That's gonna be my 4. And I know if you're listening, you're like, bro, really, you forgot about this person or you forgot about this person. It's like, okay, I don't care because this is my list, and these are the first 4 people that came into my head that I thought were valid, very good NXT champions. Would you like to see Goldust return to WWE to end his career? I feel like it'd be more fitting for him for it to end in WWE opposing to AEW. And you could do something with him versus Cody or, them have a storyline together. Yes. Just yes. I can see him making a return and just doing basically just one final match with, I think, maybe against Cody. Go out putting Cody over. But yes, I think he'll wrestle in WWE before he ends up retiring. I haven't heard much made of who took out Jacob Fatu, but I have a theory it could be Randy Orton. He eventually turns on Cody and goes after the title. Maybe we get 09 Orton back. What do you think? Yeah, so this is the one I saw on Twitter. I could see this. I like it. Because it gives a little bit more sauce to the story that's already going on right now. And we didn't confirm it was Drew McIntyre. I think they're doing a Jade Cargo where it's like, oh, this person obviously took them out. They're of course, Liv and Raquel took them out. You saw them running away from the crime scene and they're bad. But it's like, was it actually? No, it was Naomi, of course. So this could be another thing where it's like, oh, Jacob's got hurt. Of course it's Drew because Drew's the bad guy, but it's not. So I'm going to say yes. I like this take a lot. This could be Randy Orton who took out Jacob Fatu, which of course down the line leads to Jacob Fatu versus Randy Orton, and maybe that's when Jacob wins the championship, which I could definitely see in the near future. So, good take. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of promo talkers and mic workers that are in the business right now? I'm gonna just premise this again. It's right now. It's not all time. It is right now. So I'm gonna kick it off with saying LA Knight. Obviously, just obviously. If he's not in your top 4, you just have something wrong with you. I'll say him. I'm going to say Randy as well. Randy's always been absolutely fire on the mic. He'll be my second slot. Third, let me think. I'm going to throw in Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso is such an underrated promo / mic worker. That dude fries people on the mic, and I don't think he gets, all the love he deserves. And he deserves a push and a championship and all this stuff. Give him the world, because Jimmy's my guy. Yeah, so I'd say Jimmy as well at the the third? Yeah, the third slot. In fourth, best promo mic workers. I'm not going to count John Cena, because I feel like that's a little bit cheesy because he's not going to be in the business that much longer. So this is also not including John Cena. But also even right now, I don't even think he's the best mic worker right now at this current moment. I'm almost thinking Drew. I'm thinking Drew or CM Punk at the moment. Or Seth. It's Seth. I lied. Seth Rollins, every time he has the mic in his hands, it's just absolute cinema. He plays the heel role so well, and his freaking laugh he does always gets me. So I'll go with Seth to finish it out. And again, if I miss somebody that's on your list, sorry, I really don't care. Don't come at me. What are your oh yeah. This is a really random one that I got from someone. What are your top 5 favorite movies of all time? Which was funny that someone in a comment section asked me this, because I literally basically went over my top 3 favorite movies the other day in a class. So my favorite movie of all time, without a doubt in my mind, is Cars 2. Cars 2 is absolute cinema. I don't care what anybody says. I love Cars 1. Don't get me wrong, I do. But Cars 2, in my personal humble opinion, it's just genuinely better. I just like the spies and all this stuff. I mean, we're talking about, so in the first movie, it's like, oh, Lightning McQueen needs to make it to the big race. And the third one is like, oh, this new gen car is really good, and he's beating Lightning McQueen. This one's like, all right, terrorist organization creates fuel that lights people on fire and blows them up. It's like, right, okay, that's sick. Like, what the hell? And some people are out here like, Cars 2's the worst Cars. Go to hell. I just think that Cars 2 is just absolute cinema, and it's on top. So, next, so that's my 1 slot. 2 slot has to be How to Train Your Dragon. How to Train Your Dragons is the cutest movie ever. I don't know how to explain it to people, but it's just you just look at Toothless and you just become happy. And I actually think the story is pretty good. Like the development that they do with the story is insane. I know this isn't like none of this is wrestling related, which actually is why I like this this last question so much. But yeah, How to Train Your Dragon's my 2. My 3. All right, now we're gonna move away from the kids movie, like more kid friendly movies, and we're gonna go to Talladega Nights, starring Will Ferrell. I mean, what an absolute just stupid movie. if we're being for real. I love it. It's so funny. I love, racing, race cars, whatever. I think Will Ferrell's hilarious. So I'm just going to say Talladega Nights for sure. If you haven't seen it and you're, old enough and you're not like 5, go watch it because it's tough. Next in my 3 slot. Geez, I'm cooked. I can't think of any movies. This might be kind of insane. The only movie I can think of right now is Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So I'm going to say that. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is such a great movie. It has so much charm. I don't know what to say about it. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies. Now, it's not the best Marvel movie. There's a difference. My favorite and the best are very different things. But this is probably my favorite Marvel movie. Gets you teary-eyed when Arrow dude dies. I can't think of his name to save my life. But that's always sad. But then the vibes are always so high, and the music's fire. That playlist is insane. So that's my 4. Was that my 4? Yes. And in my 5th slot, what's a movie I always watch? I always rewatch. I'm just like, the small gears in my brain are slowly moving ever so slightly. I think I'm going to have to say Real Steel. It's got to be Real Steel, Hugh Jackman. That movie's a banger. The ultimate underdog story. If you've seen it, you just know what I'm talking about. Again, there's this whole thing with me in movies and it just having like charm. And this is one of those movies that definitely has it. So that's going to round out my top 5 favorite movies of all time. And also that's going to round out all of the questions I have here today on this random WWE question answering podcast day that I have. That's on a random Wednesday because I'm all out of order and all out of sorts. But Saturday, I will be watching, even if I'm at like a Halloween party, I'm just going to have my phone up watching Saturday Night Main Event because I need to be watching it. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like rating down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. Look at those cool little graphics that I can put up there. Look, they're so cool. But if you guys could, of course, leave a rating on Spotify. Drop a comment down below if you want me to answer any of your questions. I'd really appreciate it. If you have any tier list ideas as well, please, literally anything. So, but other than that, I think that's it. Of course, Clear Protein, use code CORB, CORB. Other than that, I'm pretty sure that's it. So I want to thank you guys for watching and or listening, and I hope you have an incredible day today.